What is up? Jared Spalding here, and today you're going to be seeing the ultimate guide to investing in silver. And I'm very hopeful that it's going to help you. So let's just jump right in here. Part one, and that is how to get your stack started. Now, before you can even go doing all your buying and all your other stuff, you need to know how to get a stack started. I mean, of course that involves buying, obviously, but you understand what I'm saying. You need to understand the fundamentals, of investing in silver. And there's a few things you should know. Now, I'm just gonna go here with different steps to start your stack. Now, let's say you don't have any silver at all yet. You've never even seen a silver price chart or a silver bar or anything for that matter. All right. Now, what would I advise you? Well, that's simple. I'd simply say the best way to get started is to buy. But that's not good advice. I mean, that's what I did. And that's not good advice. I'd be giving you bad advice if I told you that. What you really need to do is to do a lot of research. All right, basically look up all sorts of different things, kind of like this video, and I'm going to be explaining what a lot of that research will be telling you right now. First of all, a few things you need to know before you even get started buying silver, and that is, for one, you're going to want to know the silver price at all times. Let's say if you got a phone, good. Get PCGS Coinflation, a very good application, tells you the current spot price of silver and gold immediately, and you can refresh it up to the minute. Anything that happens will be updated to you. It also allows you to find the melt value of standard US coins and silver US coins, and it allows you to determine the value of your scrap silver or gold in different purities and weights. And even if you want to figure out how much your silver would be worth in 10 years from now and you're guessing the price, you can even change the price of the silver on the calculator. It's automatically set to the spot price, but you can change it yourself to prepare for the future. So another thing you want to do before you even get started buying is to make sure that you know what company is best. I have another video about this, talking about the best company to buy silver from. However, I'm going to say right now, my favorite personally is Modern Coin Mart. I feel like I've had the best experience with them. I also feel like they are the most trustworthy. They give you the most silver for your money. And they have, I think, the best kind of experiences with other people. They're not as well known. I mean, they're pretty big. Very big, in fact. They have a lot of people bought from them, but they're not nearly as well known as APMEX or Provident Metals, which APMEX completely avoid right now, please, because I had a decent experience with them, but doesn't mean you're going to, and I know people who haven't. Let's just say they got ripped off. They got scratched silver worth a lot less than it should have been. Should have been BU, and they lost money, and APMEX refused to refund them fully, and it was just a big mess. So avoid them. Provident is fine. I mean, I just don't feel like you get as much silver value out of them. You know, I feel like they give you less than what you deserve. So out of the three, and out of any really, Modern Coin Mart or MCM is, in my opinion, the best, and the one that you should buy from. Now, where do you buy silver from? That's really a multi-answer question, because you can buy silver from all sorts of areas and places, whether it be online or real places. You can go to your local coin shop, they'll probably have silver. In fact, I bought my first 2 silver bars from a coin shop in my area, only one that happened to be in the area, and they also sell a lot of other stuff. You know, you'll probably be able to find a little bit of bullion at least at them. And one way you can get a good deal is if they don't check the spot prices. silver suddenly jumped up in value and you're looking for a quick flip, which don't recommend, you can, but if you are, you can go to the place, and if they don't check the current value, which the coin shop I'm at does, but if they don't check it, if they go based on old charts, you can get silver for a pretty banging deal, and that's always great. Of course, another way you can get silver for cheap is to get it at yard sales, but which is another area you can buy them, although that you can easily get ripped off with, even more so than a coin shop. There's a lot of places online you can buy silver. Like there's websites that are devoted to it. Personally, I just use eBay. I mean, I feel like it's not really a bad thing. It probably is in the eyes of a lot of people. I don't recommend it for a lot of people unless you're experienced on eBay. I've had a decent amount of experience, probably about, it's only about a year or so really. But, it's enough for me to know the ropes of buying stuff, and excuse me. And you should definitely make sure that you are buying from a trusted seller. Buy from one of those large companies. Don't buy from APMEX if I were you, but just buy, even if you are, it's still better than buying from some guy who has 11 feedbacks, even if they're all positive, because people can leave good feedback. When you only have 11, it's really simple, to have 100% feedback that's positive, and just really avoid those kind of people. And the only exception is if the bar you're buying or coin or whatever is certified, because then it is going to be genuine. It basically guarantees, I should say, even more that it's going to be real than buying it from a large company, because it's been tested basically, and it's been tested. It's not like you assume it's been tested, it's been. The only time I've ever bought from somebody who was smaller, they had a couple hundred feedback, and I'm not going to say their name, but I bought a lot of smaller silver bars, novelty bars, I call them, 5 grain triangles, 1 grain bars, 5 grain bars, and a couple gram bars, just really low amounts of silver. It's worth only like cents, because I wanted to have some novelty pieces, I enjoy them. They're all been certified by ACB, so they're even in the cases that come with certification, so that's how I knew I could trust it. And other than that, I always buy from MCM now. I bought a coin from APMEX once, but other than that, and actually I did have a pretty bad experience, because they sent me basically not what they promised. They promised me a 1914 or older BU Morgan dollar. What I got was a 1921 Morgan dollar, or I think it was even 22. I think it was the last year of a Morgan that I got. So, I wasn't very happy. I tried contacting them, never got a response. So, I wasn't really happy about that. But other than that, I haven't really bought from them. So I can't say I have the best knowledge of their experience, but like I said, I know other people who do, and I've been ripped off by them. So, just try to stick to buying from MCM, Provident, something like that. And anyway, once you, now we kind of covered where you're going to get your silver from. How do you buy your first bars or coins or whatever? What you're going to want to do is, especially if you're going on eBay, check the prices the second before you buy. And you might be thinking, why would I care? That is because 2 things might happen. 1, you might look up silver bars and see people selling them for like $30 an ounce or so, and you might be thinking, wow, it's a ripoff, and not buy any, and silver could have jumped. Or silver could have dropped a lot, and people are still selling bars for the same price because they haven't had time to catch up, especially on eBay. And then you could have gotten silver for a lot below, you could have gotten a lot below where you're paying for it now if you'd waited. So, you know, that kind of that's kind of a risk there you'd be taking, and therefore there's a risk that you don't need necessarily, and therefore you should make sure you just check what the price is. You know, if you don't have a phone, you can't get an app, just go online, go to PCGS Coinflation online. And if you don't have any of that, I don't know how you're watching this video, but you can get the newspaper or magazines or whatever, but I don't trust those because those can be a day old, and it's not really trustworthy for up to the minute updates, you know, but it's still something, I guess. So if you have to go there, then by all means feel free, you know. And I mean, so this isn't, of course there's more with it, you know. I mean, silver, there are a lot of buying like strategies that, you know, there's a lot really goes into it, more than you think. So basically there's a few good strategies that I like. First, and these mainly work on eBay with unexperienced sellers. Of course, you're taking a risk, you might get something fake, so you gotta be careful with that. This is very risky buying right here, but there's a few good ways to snag some good deals. One, you look up silver coins, junk silver or sorts of stuff like that. It's in auctions. You can sometimes get it for several dollars below spot value. If you're buying small lots, maybe several hundred if you're buying very large coin lots, because you think that spot value would be the lowest that they'd be willing to go, but sometimes these no reserve auctions go for a lot lower than you'd think, and a lot lower than the seller would hope. Another thing you can do that I also enjoy a lot is to take an offer you see buy it now or best offer and offer them significantly less than whatever your purchasing is worth. Like, let's say you're getting 10 silver Kennedy dollars, or I mean Kennedy half dollars, 90% silver, and you know, they're worth maybe 7 a piece or something around there. So $70 worth, and they're selling it for, let's say, 80. You offer them 60 because it's only 25% off, and if they accept it, you got it for $10 under spot, you know. And if they don't, if they counter offer 70, then you're getting a 4 spot, which is still a fine deal, you know. It's nothing bad about that. So definitely the best offer things. I've gotten really good deals. Like, I got 2 seeded dimes from 1876 and 1877. I got them for $20, both of them, and they're worth, you know, considerably more because of a best offer. So, you know, it really can work to your advantage. Of course, it can work to your disadvantage. Like I said, you're taking a huge risk when doing this with smaller sellers, but I mean, you know, if you're not taking a risk, then you might lose some of your best deals that you'll ever receive. Anyway, let's kind of move on to the next step here of setting up your silver, and that is making your first purchase, like officially. Now, you might be wondering, why do I want to buy silver? And I'm going to explain that to you briefly. The reason that you're going to want silver is because of the fact that it has a lot of investment opportunities, you know, a lot of potential to go very high. So silver itself buying really is a risk because you don't know what's going to happen to the market. I can't say I do, and anyone who tells you that they automatically know, they're lying. Don't listen to them, you know. And basically, it is hard to predict it. It's very hard. You can go as technical as you want into it, but you're not going to really ever know what's going to happen. You know, maybe a huge silver mine is going to be discovered and it's going to be down for 10 years. You don't know. And it is, like I said, it is a risk, but it's a calculated risk because you are taking that risk, but you can get a lot out of it. And it's really well justified because I can guarantee you that silver is going to go up. Now I know it's going against what I said, people don't know, but I just can't see it not going up in the next 10 years, at least a couple times its original value. So, definitely make sure that you realize that you are taking a risk though, because that's what it is. Now, of course, silver is also very, very reliable of an asset or invested in a commodity. All those terms work and are commonly switched out, but basically, silver is very sound. It's a very sound investment. It's very stable. Sometimes, it goes down or very high up, but I mean, it's going to be on a steady incline very soon, I believe at least, and because of the fact that silver is, silver, it's got a lot of value to it. It's very necessary, and when compared to gold, it's just a lot more silver is used than gold right now, so it's gonna go up more than gold most likely, even though gold's a lot more valuable. And I mean, you're guaranteed to get something out of it. And even if you still have silver, that is worth at least something. And if you don't have to sell for a while, then you can hold on to it, wait for it to go up. But yeah, and now let's get into actually purchasing your first bar. Depends on who you're purchasing it from, but you're usually going to want to, if you're purchasing a lot, be very secure, because is the little smaller amount of people that know who you are when you're purchasing a lot of silver, the better, because that's a smaller amount of people that can steal silver from you, rob you of your money, all sorts of things. Just try to be very private about it. Don't go around in public telling about how you just purchased 1,000 ounces. And of course that contradicts what I do going on YouTube, but like I said, I've made some mistakes, and I feel at least somewhat secure on YouTube. But like, if you're out in public and everyone knows you, then you can get robbed very easily. And you gotta be very careful with that. But when you're purchasing it, make sure you basically know that the seller is good and that the bar is gonna be real, and you're not gonna get ripped off. Know who you want to buy from. Don't only take advice from me. Take advice from a lot of people. Combine it and see who you think is the best to buy from. What's the best silver? I would definitely recommend bars because they're the most stackable. Maybe not the most appealing, but they usually have the lowest price on them. So, definitely make sure that you just know what you want. And when you purchase it, make sure you keep your silver in a safe place. You don't want anyone robbing you and being able to find it. Make sure that the government doesn't try to take it. Try to keep yourself well equipped, on the alert. And one more thing you want to do before I end part one here is you want to make sure that you keep up to date with all the current events on silver. Silver mines being discovered, silver prices dropping or rising, all that stuff, because you want to be on the ball of your feet, basically. Whatever I'm going to say, just keep on the ball, basically, because if you are not up to date, you don't know the prices, you're going to get ripped off very easily. And I know I just said one more thing, but another thing, don't get tricked into buying silver that's overpriced. Maybe it's on purpose. I've seen silver sell out that's for $57 an ounce, and it's really sad that people think that it's worth that much when it's really not. And of course, don't get tricked into buying silver that's overvalued just because it says, BU condition, limited, minting. That's just nonsense. So yes, I hope you enjoyed part one, and part two is going to be on what you do once you start, you start building up a stack. All right, I'll be right back with you.